Word up.
Just wait a little bit for people to come back in.
Word up.
Last time I didn't have a clock, so I had to keep like paying attention to the time.
Okay. Yeah. So what's the deal? You can only go live for an hour and then you're cut.
Yeah.
It's
So
nothing
if
to do
you
with the music.
no, if you've watched like D Nice's sets and stuff like that, anyone that's on when they cut out, it's because they ran out of time. Instagram puts an hour limit on it.
Even D Nice has to do that?
Uh-huh.
I thought, can't Instagram fix it for him or something? I mean, doesn't he have enough
So
people on
when
there?
one of the first times he was on, because I was on from when he first started it, Mark Zuckerberg came in and they were like, you have to extend it for him. And he was like, okay. It was fun. That was the first time Michelle Obama came in. It was crazy. Oprah. Yeah, even Quest too. Yep, Questlove.
I'm still imagining the velvet rope situation with Michelle Obama and Oprah and Questlove, everybody together at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Can I see your ID though? Is it okay if I put this? Is it okay if I put this plastic wristband on you?
Mm-hmm.
Would you mind wearing this mask? Anyways.
Can I stamp your wrist? Thanks.
Yeah. Can I put a rubber? Sorry, Mrs. Obama.
So you have to confirm. Can I see your ID? I just have to confirm that it's really you.
Yeah, you're doing a very good job of impersonating Michelle Obama. I don't think I can let you in.
Like you look familiar, but I can't really place who you are.
Yeah, indeed.
So I guess it's a good time to pivot a little bit. Do you have anything you're currently working on or that you're having the works that you can talk about / want to talk about?
Yeah. There's a bunch of stuff, but something that we're actually fixing today that we're hoping to put out, hopefully it's going to come out in the next week or two, is last summer I shot a thing in New York and Williamsburg with Anna Tijoux. I mean, she was there, Anna Tijoux, a good friend and a rapper from Chile, amazing MC, amazing singer, performer, activist, down-ass homegirl. And we shot something around the only day labor center in the country that's for women, which is in Williamsburg. It's mainly domestic workers. And we shot a video there with them. And through one reason or another, the video has been sitting around. And now a number of the women have been caught up in what's going on in New York. And so I think it's it's an opportune moment to think about the people that are considered non-essential, but that are clearly essential and that are not covered by the same kinds of protections at all. Even the people in so-called essential, obviously, occupations aren't even being looked after to the extent that they should be. But anyways, larger question. But anyway, yeah, that's going to come out in the next week or so. So watch out for that. I don't know what else is going on. I'm speaking like this. I'm doing some kind of presentation like this, but more formal and more kind of academic with the things called the London Institute of Photography in a couple of weeks. And I'm working on something, but I don't know. Yeah, virtual talk. I wish I was doing a real one, but yeah, virtual one. And then I actually, weirdly enough, I'm working on something, but I shouldn't really be speaking on it. But yeah, I've been gone down a pretty hardcore Jamaican rabbit hole for the last month. And I have to say I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Discovering a lot of things I didn't know and a lot of music I didn't know, actually. So yeah, but it's a film thing, so yeah.
So I'm disappointed I didn't get to make it out to the Contact High exhibition, and I'm bummed we didn't get to meet up. Were you happy with the overall execution of it?
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's officially over.
I mean, man, in all honesty, Vicky, like, that is amazing what she's managed to pull off. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, you know, I remember the first time she interviewed me for Mass Appeal. I remember thinking, you know, that's a really good idea. But like, when I look back, and it's not that long ago, you know, when I look back, I'm like, wow, man, that thing really kind of blew up, like in a really big way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, didn't have a sense of it at the photo fair in Brooklyn. It wasn't really until it was like, yeah, we're gonna do this thing at the Annenberg, and I was like, and then wow, it really was. And then you people were ready for it. I mean, that I think that's the, you know, the beauty of doing this kind of work is getting to, you know, have access to, you know, there's a kind of pop, you know, general public kind of right moment aspect about that, you know, generationally the right moment where there's people that want to see the other frames from some of their favorite photos of their favorite people from their favorite era in the music.
Mm-hmm.
And some other music has it, but not in the way that she did it. And then the show clearly was, you know, people would go back again and again. It was a massive success. It was extended weeks out here. The opening itself was, I've never been to anything like that. And actually, you know, in truth, like, just so you understand the magnitude, as a member of the photo community in LA, I was there when that museum opened 10 years, exactly 10 years prior. And I'm going to be blunt and tell you that, yeah, you could count the people of color at that opening on one hand. And it was like you had to wear a tuxedo, and it was this super kind of uptight thing. And then here we are 10 years later, and it's like Flying Lotus and, you know, Anderson Paak and, you know, like every hip hop photographer, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, there's a few folks didn't make it, but like tons of folks, and 5,000 people at this thing. And it was, and, you know, I don't know if you'd see it, but like every weekend there'd be lines. And I mean,
Yeah.
it was amazing. People come there and bring their kids. And yeah, it was amazing. I mean, my little piece was, we got to build that record store, which was a big, uh, people making jokes. What's up, Karina? But yeah, I mean, yeah, it was a great thing for all of us, man. I mean, really, Vicky's done an amazing job with that stuff, and it's still going on, obviously. But and I think it will travel more. But let's see, you know. Anyways, yeah, very happy to be part of that. That's a great project. And through that project, you know, become better friends with Janet Beckman, and you know, there's a kind of a crew or whatever that is developed around it. So yeah, it's great, really great.
How do you feel the current pandemic and possible future recurrences will affect your creative output? Do you feel that it's stunted you at all this time so far?
No, not really. I mean,
Are you enjoying
you
the
know, whatever.
temporary
Like,
pause?
I mean, if you don't have a few tricks up your sleeve, do you know what I mean? Like, who you kidding? You know what I mean? You got to have a few things you can pivot to as far as like projects. So yeah, I was supposed to go to Ireland to work on a film that I'm developing with a friend who's a writer out there. So for me, yeah, clearly this was a kind of a, you know, change of direction.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like Ghost Notes, the movie, doesn't need to get made. Of course it does.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So now the universe told me, hey, it's time to do that now. So, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Do that. So it's cool. I mean, I can go to Ireland again, you know, it's fine. I mean, you know what I mean? It's like it will open up. And actually, by virtue of this kind of moment to pause, I have to be honest, you know, like, this is helpful for me. People like me, I'm constantly fighting this digestion problem with information. You know what I'm saying? Like where I always have more books than I'm going to be able to read. I'm one of those people. I saw there's a name for it now. Somebody said it's the, you know, people uh, people who buy more books than they know they can read is actually a condition.
Okay.
Yeah, I suffer from this for sure.
I think there's a lot of those people.
Yeah, yeah. In some weird way, it's a kind of overcompensation for something. Like all that toilet paper, you know, that was overcompensation.
Uh-huh.
How dirty are y'all's asses? Anyways, sorry.
Yeah, Pete Rock posted. He's like, you know, you all can get in the shower, right?
East Jamaican, they got answers there too. You know what I mean? There's options. Paper is not the only answer, folks.
What are your thoughts on virtual exhibitions and how they'll play a role in the world going forward?
I think, you know, we've you know, let's be realistic here. We already have virtual exhibitions. They're called websites. You know what I'm saying? What's interesting is to see if this sort of three-dimensionally modeled virtual space, like virtual white cube or whatever, virtual museum space, will actually amount to anything. I'm thinking that I don't know. I have to be honest, I'm a skeptic when it comes to sort of virtual reality stuff. I haven't, like, there's a reason the two eyes are in the front. You know what I'm saying? The two eyes aren't here. You know what I'm saying? So we can be like seeing all of it. It's not there. We are moving a direction. Generally, we're moving forward. Right. And all the Rasta brethren would like to think we are moving forward. You know what I mean? So for me, virtual reality is, I'm happy with, you know, I'm happy with a good piece of glass and a good sensor, and we're good to go. Which then leads me to believe, like, you know, but there, I don't know, you know, it's all up in the air. I'm not an expert in this. I'll tell you this. I'm very skeptical when it comes to a knowledge base driven by data, and data primarily. That worries me profoundly. I think it's not entirely reliable, and there needs to be, you know, real oversight for this kind of stuff. And like in humanities or whatever, breakbeat Lou, woo, dude, thank you. Oh no, damn, flip flop abuse continues. But I don't know. We'll see. You know, I mean, I'm still, you know, shit. I still like analog prints, man. You know what I mean? I still listen to records. You know, this versus thing is getting kind of interesting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is. Do you see who's up next?
I did. Yeah. I'm very excited by this.
Me too.
So, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, so, you know, as what it seems like to me, and I think this is more into the territory of what Badu does really well, but there's a way to imagine certain new kinds of spaces and new kinds of experiences emerging from this.
Right.
You know, it's become acceptable now that this is entertainment in and of itself, like live as a kind of thing, as a trope.
Right.
And there are people who, you know, Badu's been killing Instagram for years. Okay, so now now it's time, it's, you know, she's in the perfect position to move into this. And that's why we love her. I mean, that's amazing. But that doesn't mean that you know,
other stuff has to go.
It's just the plurality. You know, the other things will come back. I mean, there is something to being in a room with 1,000 other people singing the song, you know what I mean? Or 1,000 other people cold as ice, freaked out, looking at what's happening in front of them, or whatever it is, you know what I mean? 1,000 people holding their phones, streaming it live.
I can't.
You know what I'm saying?
And you can't see because the person in front of you.
Yeah. This is the outcome of this. I mean, we've been training for this, man. I mean, that's, you know, that's the sad reality of this, is we've been training for this. You know what I'm saying? We have, you know, so who wants to find the book? You can find the book on Amazon, though, even though I'd rather you didn't find it on Amazon, but you can find it there. Maybe you can use
There's a
Amazon
lot
to
of
buy it.
places online I think you can find it still.
There probably is. What's the great bookstore in
Google.
Portland? Google. The great bookstore. Google.
Yeah. Kind of in the same vein, how do you think your role as a photographer will change in the next 5 to 10 years because of things like this?
I don't know. I have to be honest. I felt my role as a photographer has been changing since the turn of the century. To be honest with you, do you know, like the end of the music industry as we know it, to some degree, the end of analog photography as we know it. You know, I mean, I remember in a space of 5 years, I went from being like almost offered a contract at Sony to be like an in-house photographer, which would have been a big deal for me, to a situation where all the art departments at Sony were sent home one Friday. Like, what? So, yeah, man, it was. It's been a crazy. You know, it's a crazy. I mean, this field has changed. It's changed radically. The internet changed everything. I mean, yes, the move to digital was significant. It was felt like a kind of democratization. You know, it's like, oh, you can shoot video, moving images can be shot everywhere at any time. You know, whatever, easily record good sound. To a situation where it's like not only that, but you can actually broadcast it. You can actually, you know, it's like a whole other. Yeah, we've really seen some remarkable changes in the way that culture is produced and consumed and this kind of thing. So I don't know. This, I guess, is another step, but I don't feel like it's been stable in this field since the 90s. Yeah.
Do you have a pandemic playlist? Like, have you been listening to the same things? Have you?
I can tell you what we went through here. We the first week or two we went pretty hard on Alice Coltrane.
Okay.
I've been going hard on this kind of like a bunch of related Blue Note records between Andrew Hill, Joe Henderson, and Bobby Hutcherson from the early 60s. So that was kind of coming into it. Then it was Alice Coltrane, pretty hard. McCoy Tyner, pretty hard. A bunch of random stuff that's just been kind of accumulating on my floor, Brazilian, Colombian, whatever. And then of late, it's been pretty much all Jamaican music over here. Mm-hmm. Pretty hardcore. So that's besides what my 6-year-old plays, which is like everything from Bruno Mars to Chimaya and everything in between. Yeah.
That's cute. And do you have anything else that you want to add or promote? Or add just anything you want to, that I didn't.
No, we good. Ghost Notes, obviously, music of the unplayed. You can get it. It's out there, timeless. There's big chunks of timeless on YouTube, or if you're lucky, you might struck one on eBay or somewhere.
If you're lucky, you'll get an autographed one.
Oh, you get an autographed one. There you go. Is the binding coming apart? Let me see.
Yes. This is how much I've looked at it. I'm so sad.
That sucks. Oh, UT Press. Come on, man. That's not so cool. Yeah, we got.
I'll figure out a way to fix it.
Yeah. A book repair store.
Or I'll Google it. Yeah.
Well, probably some tape. It just doesn't look as cool.
Yeah, I live in an area of Brooklyn where it's not safe to go out.
Really?
Yeah. No one's social distancing or wearing masks. And
Breakbeat Lou, send me your address, man. I'll send you a book. I'll get you a book, man. Consider it done. Wow, that's intense. It's different out here, you know. It's the number. It hasn't the kind of surge they were expecting hasn't come yet.
Oh.
But you know, hopefully it won't. But I think, you know, the thing with LA is that I think the way that people live already was more, it put people at more of a social distance already. I mean, that's part
Right.
of the reason people complain about um, LA is like, it's like, it already feels like people are socially distant. You don't get the kind of
Right.
the New York elbow
No,
in
we're
the
all on top of each
ribs.
other here.
Yeah. But man, the other thing is, I honestly, it's the first few weeks, I have to say, I was spending a lot of time, monitoring, trying to understand like how this thing was going to behave and trying to understand what was the best thing to do and this kind of thing. But by now, it's more just for my own sanity. It's like I have to limit how much
Oh
information I
yeah.
take in, like on a day. Otherwise, it's just mad depressing.
Yeah, I don't watch the news anymore.
Yeah, it's rough. I mean, I saw somebody, that occasionally things will just pop up. I don't know if you know the writer Sarah Rosen.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sarah made a post there on Facebook a few weeks back, and I was just I was moved. Really, I have to be honest. It was one of those kind of like, this is my block, this is my neighborhood. It's the reddest neighborhood on this map.
Right.
This is what's going on right now, and it was kind of like, holy shit. And it's that hasn't been the reality here. I mean, even I work between LA and San Diego, and in San Diego, there isn't even a mask ordinance or whatever. So it's people just wandering around. I mean, not that people aren't wandering around here without masks, but there is an ordinance. Whereas in San Diego, there isn't.
Yeah.
So,
A friend of mine lives there, and she posted a photo earlier, and I was like, I wish I was there.
yeah, I just can't help. I can't help thinking that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm. All I can say is I only found out about it last week. But if you don't know what's happened in Vietnam, just look at what happened in Vietnam.
Yeah.
And it's pretty extraordinary what they managed to do, and they managed to do it by being extra cautious. So I don't know, but at the same time, obviously, that's all well and good. I mean, I still get a check in the mail from the university system.
Yeah, I work for a university also, so I'm pretty lucky too.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And there's a lot that ain't. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I don't know. I also feel like there's creative ways to figure this out. So it's just very difficult with the kind of level of confusion that there is around the country with this. It's just, there's a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of sort of unneeded noise on the line that doesn't need to be there. That's serving purposes that, ain't good for the people in the end, is it? So, anyways, cheery stuff.
Thanks so much. Thank you so much, Brian, for taking the time.
All right, thank you.
I love talking to you.
My first Instagram live experience.
Woo!
I remember being in Brazil with Kamasi Washington and seeing Battle Cat in a restaurant overlooking favelas. And I was like, what are you doing? He was like, Instagram Live. And I was like, wow, that's crazy.
Were you in Rio?
Yeah, we were in Rio. Yeah, we were in a place called Santa Teresa. And we were overlooking overlooking the whole city, but in the foreground there was a bunch of favelas, and he was just excited in the moment. We were in this restaurant on a balcony, and he just turned, and everyone was like, what is he doing? And it's like, he's doing Instagram Live, and he was much like we're doing here. He's just going like, oh, what's up, so and so, yo, what's up? And we were just like, wow, this is so crazy. Shit, now it's our reality. So here it is. Thank you again.
Thank you. I hope you have a great night. And I'm gonna save this to YouTube, and I'll shoot you the link.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks everybody for stopping through.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, man. Indeed,
Have a good night.